animosity. So many people make those mistakes because they don't know how to deal with people. So if they would really learn how to deal with people, they would get so much further in their careers and learn how to champion other people. And also, I like when my people tell me, hey, Sean, you could have did a little better. I love when I get constructive criticism. You know, I just do the best I can and, you know, that I can do in creating a character. That's all I do. And once I'm done with it, I forget about it. I'm on to the next. But it's really important. A lot of actors, I think they make mistakes in the industry moving forward. When the money starts to come, they're not doing the right thing. They're not holding the money down to where, like, I know, okay, I have something that's coming up in a month from now. It might carry me for 6 months. You just never know when you can keep on going. But I made enough smart decisions with other jobs that I did where I can sustain myself for a year. I'm good.
You have to.
But it took learning and reading and being around the right people, because there's nothing worse than trying to audition for a job that you really need. You're desperate. You're like this. I've been there before where I'm like this. I'm just overselling and shit. Now it just seems like when you're not overcompensating yourself. They see, wow, this person's confident. They really don't care. If they can, you know, use my character and they like what I bring to the table, good. If not, okay, next. God did not get you to this point in your life for him to say, I'm done with you. So I always remember that when, okay, I'll go through a streak of, I'm talking 8 to 10 self-tapes and nothing happens. People don't understand that shit is exhausting. It costs me money. I'm doing self-tape. I'm got to go drop my baby off in the morning. I got to go pick her up. I have to study these scripts, get on tape to keep doing that, paying the money, and then not to get the job. Most people don't have the backbone for this business because it's really not meant for everybody.
True, it's not, man.
It just really isn't. Many people aren't built for this shit because this shit is real.
Well,
to the limit.
As I always say, you know, if you're not prepared to invest in yourself, why should someone invest in you? You know, a lot of people don't understand that when it comes to the business. Is that, like, you know, where they want the things, but they don't understand that the business comes with sacrifice. Like, you're going to sacrifice friendships, you're going to sacrifice relationships, you're going to sacrifice, you know, your health. All these things are decisions that you have to make and think thoroughly through before you get into the game and say, okay, like, am I really cut out for this? And a lot of people, as you know, aren't cut out for it because they don't have the stamina, or they are always looking for somebody else to put in the work for them. Or you get the people, number one, that think that they're owed something. And it's like, this business doesn't owe you
There's so many
anything.
people who have that entitlement mentality. And look, I get it. I dig it. I got stories for days, man. And I could say shit that just blow your mind. But I've learned I have no entitlement attitude. I'm serious about my business. When that comes up, I'm hard on management. You can't be afraid to know your worth and say, hey, this is what I want. This is what it is. And you also have to be willing to walk away from a job if you feel that you're deserving of more. You have to look at where you are personally and economically and saying, hey, can I afford to say no to this job? If it doesn't go against the grain, but you love the work, but you need the money, you got kids. Everyone has a different level of circumstances. You know, it feels good to not have to worry about a bill. But there are people who are, you know, still waiting tables, hustling just to, you know, not be buried. So I understand that struggle because I've been there before, you know, about 4 to 5 years ago. I understand the grind. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying?
So for you, when it comes to, like, you get presented with the role, what makes you, like, what is the thing that attracts you to a role? What makes you decide whether or not this is the right role for me? What, you know, that you want to take on? Do you have a process in that?
Of course I have a process in that.
Okay,
If I audition for the role, there are many auditions, my manager could contest to this, that I look at them like, that's just not me. I don't like the language. I understand it's a character, but it's just not who and what I am. I don't want my kid to see me saying or acting that way. That's me personally. Most roles that I'm offered, I like. I won't take something that I'm not enjoying to do. I'm okay. It's okay for me to say no. One of the best things you can learn in your life to do is to say no.
Say no.
So many people just always want to say yes and be appeasing to everyone to a production. I've learned that many times I was working on this show. I lost out an opportunity. Oh man, this was a killer. This bothered me. I know we're talking about the typecast role, but this was the biggest guest star role that I had. It was on FBI's Most Wanted. Last year I shot it. I couldn't shoot it. They changed the episode because they wanted me for this character. And I was shooting Family Business here, and then they made an offer. You know that you're moving forward in the business when you start getting offers. So I got the offer. I looked at the script. I was like, oh, this is great. I'm helping this guy break out of prison. I know all of his secrets, and I'm getting interrogated by these officers. Then COVID hit.
Yep.
I shot the episode, finished the episode on March 13th. Everything closed up the 17th, and then they ended up not using that episode on the show. But then my manager gave me a good perspective. He said, Sean, you got paid for the episode. You shot it. It didn't air, but it gives you an opportunity because you weren't seen on the show to go into
bring you back.
Different.
Yeah.
So you just learn. But because it was a prison role, I was a little bit iffy about it. I was like, do I want to do this or not? But then when I saw the actors and it being all about me in the interrogation room, it just gave me so many different things to fuck with the different characters. Oh, it was a great situation, but I don't take roles that I don't like, and I know how to say no. So if I say yes, it's because I like it. I'll do it, even if it's not a crazy big role. I'd rather take a small role in a big movie than a shitty role in a independent all day long. You know what I'm saying?
Don't forget, guys, if you're just hopping into the room, welcome to another edition of episode 23, Hot Topic Celeb TV. You can find us right here on HotTopicCelebTV.com. Each and every Sunday service, Hollywood actors, producers, directors in conversation. I'm your host, D-Teflon on the MIC. Tonight, joining us in the building, Sean Ringgold from BET Family Business. So, continuing, Sean, you then, after that, navigated in the sense to being probably the biggest blessing, I think, for any person is becoming a father.
Oh.
And for you, obviously, most people in the earlier parts of their career usually sway away from starting a family that quickly because of as you know, the demand and the schedule and everything that goes along with being in a relationship and trying to juggle and manage. And this is an industry that has probably the highest divorce rate. For you, how was that transition from being, carefree and then all of a sudden being thrust into fatherhood, then thrust into, being a married man and all the things that come along with that, and then trying to balance a career in the industry?
All right. So when I found out I was having a baby, I always do something called mentorship. So I went to my friends who had children because I believe that you should get advice from people who are where you want to be in your life. Some people get the wrong advice, and that's why they go in the wrong direction. You have to. I would not seek, if I know my friend has been divorced 2 or 3 times, I'm not asking him for the information on how do I keep this relationship right, how do I be a good father. If I know this person's a deadbeat, they don't take care of their child support, they're not doing the right thing by their family, I don't ask those people for, information on, or what do you call it, advice whatsoever. So I went to people who I honestly respect and love that are actors and entertainers in this business that have families and they have a good unit. How are you making it work? I was scared to death. Why? Because it was unexpected. 2, now you have another mouth to feed and a lot comes along with it. In the acting world, when you have to just take care of yourself, that's good. But then when you have a family that you have to take care of, whole new story, my friend. Whole new story. Now you're like, do I need to, keep doing my entrepreneur and get back into this, get back into that? But I want to stay on course. Why? I want to stay on course because at this level, through the grace of God, where I'm at, one job can sustain you for 2-3 years if you play your money right. One series regular role, that's it. You can be good, especially if you live within your means and you're not doing anything stupid and buying frivolous nonsense. You can be very, very comfortable. And a lot of people, they just go above and beyond. I don't have that problem because I was around all that shit when I was a bodyguard. And I have friends that got the Rolls and all that other stuff. So I don't need to buy it. I could borrow it. My
And I
friends
see the
always
rise
got in
you
car
ride.
companies.
I
I'll
see
go and
the.
pay the money and rent it. They give me it at half price, and I'm living life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to worry about, I'm going to go spend $250,000, $300,000 in that car. I stay within my range. My biggest thing right now is acquiring a home that I can really be proud of and that my family can grow into. So moving forward, shout out to my friend Dave Famiro. I was scared to death. Dave Famiro, he worked with me on One Life to Live. He was on Power. He was the
Power.
detective. He's on the LA show with Gabrielle Union. He was
No, he's a great talent, man. He's a great. I've always loved his work for years.
my friend for 20 years. His wife, Melissa Primero, on the Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Love them, my people. So I said to him, bro, I'm nervous. I don't know what to do. I'm having a kid. This is real. I was scared to death. You know what he said to me? I can't believe it. It was so beautiful. He said, Sean, God knows that you have another mouth to feed. Don't worry about it. You're going to be just fine. He says, God knows that you have more to take care of. And I was like, wow. It's not about me. It was about God sustaining me. All of a sudden, all these shows you started hitting. Boom. And I'm talking money, made more money than I ever made in my career. Started making money in 6 months than I did previously. So I've learned that we can't forget to trust in God. Many times we think that we got the answers. He has the answers. He knows what's happening, before we even know what's happening. He just wants to see how you're going to act under pressure. Are you gonna, throw your cards in? Are you just going to stay loyal and keep doing the work? And through the grace of God, man, these jobs continue to keep coming, and everybody is great. Dude, I just remember, he says, God knows that you have more mouths to feed, and he just continued to keep providing, but I continue to doing my best to be a good person and just try to be a good father. And it's a lot of work, bro.
What's the
It's a
thing though?
lot of
Being
work, but
like,
it's the best work you can do.
well, that's the thing. Like
Being a
for you,
parent.
like being obviously, at times being away, from your daughter, or obviously in the earlier parts, because when you got to book a show and you're off for a couple of weeks, or you're booking a movie and you're off for however long. How do you adjust to that transition? Like, how do you balance that?
I'm going to give you the honest answer, man. I don't want to sound like a bad guy, but it's true. Because I'm a very hands-on father, every morning, you see I do the Instagrams. She's in the car. I pick her up. We go to the park. We do the ice cream every day. When I have a moment to
You're
be away for
present.
15 days, I start missing them about a week out when it's time to go home. But the first 2 weeks, because we have FaceTime, we have phones, I can see them. I can look at the cameras in the house, seeing them in and out of the Ring doorbell. It feels like I'm still there.
There.
I miss, when she gives me that look with her eyes like this. I miss you, Dad. The other day, she was, kissing my picture on the wall. I started crying. I'm like, ugh. Well, this is a part of it. This is a sacrifice. You have to be, you have to, whether it's LA, Georgia, I have to
Work.
work and build a brand. That's what this is all about. And you want to sustain your family. And I'm glad that I did it when she was younger, so she's used to it. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I can't wait till I'm in a place when this COVID thing is done. I could have flown them out. On my days off, we could have, went, Laguna Beach, Newport Beach. I have friends all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I could have been down in Malibu, a million places I could have brought my family. When COVID is over, it gets easier because you could always just, hey, bring the kids. That's it.
Yeah. And now you
It's
gotta.
money.
So like
But right now you can't because you're in the bubble. You can't have
bubble.
anyone come out, the testing, the blah, blah, blah. So I cannot wait when this is over because even if I
You and me both,
can't
man.
wait, we can just send the family out and travel and people can see each other. But for the most part, man, she's good. I check in every day. And being a father is a phenomenal thing. I would not be where I'm at in my career. It makes you more focused. You get past your own excuses because it's not about you no more. It's about you being a selfless person because you have a responsibility. Your kids didn't have to come here. Your actions brought them here. So, no matter what's going on, and sometimes kids make you want to just strangle them.
Did you I mean, even from time when you started, did you always see yourself getting into the acting game eventually? Was that your first passion? Or did you have another passion and just sort of just, as you said, ended up in your lap?